Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching. Or if you just happen to be strolling by the channel right now and watching live, thanks for watching. So, lately we've been doing live streams on Friday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, here in beautiful Peru, New York. But we've had to reschedule for conflict reasons. And what we're going to uh, do today is we got a little bit of a mail call. We're going to go through the mail call and then install it in the PCAT and hope it all goes well. So if you'll bear with me, I'm just going to check on the cameras. There's one camera. I'll get that fixed a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to reposition that. Yep. Okay. And can we tilt that down anymore? No, I don't think we can. Alright, that's one camera. Turn that off. Here's the other camera. Whoops. Get that going. Alright. Okay. Okay. So we found a seller on eBay who had a couple of AST memory expansion cards, and it actually ended up being, whoops, two AST Advantage expansion cards, although one thing puzzled me. If you read any of the documentation, right, actually, without pulling it out of the AT, let me get another one out of here. Oh, this one is super heavy. What is it Chester one? Oh, wow. So this is a oh, isn't that neat? We've got this is the AST Advantage. It's got a fully populated Advantage pack, and it has. I'm almost wondering if this almost kind of looks like it was done. It was hand machined. I don't think this came from the factory like this, but you never can tell. The second serial port option for the Advantage pack. Well, if it'll fit, I'll try it. We'll see what happens. Not going to take this apart, although I'm going to assume, looking, we'll get the manual back up here in a minute. Looking at the dip switch settings, that this is indeed a fully populated AST Advantage. So it's 3 megs on this card. And then we've got another card here. That the card itself looks like it's fully populated. and this has 1.1.5 megs on it. So I think that's pretty neat. Although I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed that this Advantage pack did not have the sockets. It's only got 512K on it, so a little bit disappointing. But you know, like they say, life is hard sometimes, right? So what we'll do, I will take the existing AST Advantage out. We'll verify. I'm going to verify through the AST documentation, which I did get. It was just the pages for the Advantage pack. Yep, your Advantage is available with any of the following options, or you can install them yourself. The Advantage Pack Piggyback Board, a second serial port, and a game port. And of course, this manual tells you how to install the option. I am kind of curious, though. The manual only talks about an Advantage Pack add-on that has 3 rows of sockets, and that it can use the different sort of chips. So I speculate, and highly unlikely that Dave Murray, the 8-bit guy, is watching my stuff. But David, if you are happening to watch my B-rate roll video, maybe you know. Is this something AST would do, like at the end of a product's life cycle? Like they're not going to even invest in buying the sockets. They just have whatever's left of their inventory of chips, they'll use and make a product out of it. And that's my hypothesis with this thing. Okay. All right. So AST Advantage, we're going to get load the manual so we can verify the dip switch settings. So this should have, because here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to have one full AST Advantage with 2 serial ports, and then I'm going to have another AST Advantage with 2 serial ports. But I might have to go back, look at the expanded memory card that we put in one of the earlier videos, and make sure that I disabled the parallel port in there, because I don't remember. I really don't remember doing it. I've also got on the way, hopefully, I don't have a tracking number yet, but a AST Rampage, Rampage 286 coming. I don't know how much memory is on that, but we'll check it out when it gets here. Actually, I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up unloading whatever we don't use in the PCAT. I'm not going to need to pick this up off of the floor here. Only have one 16-bit IBM machine, and that is the 5170. My PS2s are the 808 6 Model 25s, and of course, the gem of the collection is the 5150 and the expansion unit for it. All right. So I'm gonna turn my ugly mug off. Try to do something with that, and take the system apart here in a minute. I'm just got to go through and double check the dip switch settings. So making a very an assumption that this Advantage pack, fully loaded, it's got 1.5 megs on it. The original, actually, I'm not sure about something. A couple of videos ago, I asked if anybody knew the two sockets. One was usually empty. This one has both in it. And of course, I didn't see anything in the documentation, but I'm wondering like why some of them, in the picture, some have both, some only have one. I'll look at the one that's installed in the AT in a minute. But I think so. Card 1, it'll be parallel port 1 and COM 1. Well, okay, that looks about right. And the second card, or sorry, the first card will be parallel port 1 and comms 1 and 2, and the second card will be parallel port 2 and comms 3 and 4. And if I can ever find a 25 pin or 20 parallel port cover I can put over the parallel port that's on the expanded memory card, I will do that. So let's see. Parallel port configured as LPT1, serial port 1 configured as COM1, serial port 2 configured as COM2. Right, we're not doing any of the split memory or any of that stuff. If we can get to the dip switch settings here. Okay. In this case, off. According to which memory? So is it the first memory block? Yep, the first memory block off. Okay, off, on, off, off. All right, so that verifies what I'm thinking, and so this card has got three megs on it. Okay. Okay. The next thing to do is configure the starting. Okay, if you are using the IBM 128K memory card, we are essentially doing that. We're not doing, okay, contiguous memory addressing in a 512 or 640K AT. And switch block 3 should be switch block 3 on, off. It's number 4. And 5, 6, 7 on. All right. Okay. And switch block 8 is on. Great. Parity is enabled. All right. Okay, so configuring the serial ports. So AT running under single user PC DOS will support up to 2 serial ports called COM1 and COM2, which is true. Other operating systems can support more. Okay. I guess in this case, yep. So we're going to assume that there are no serial ports on in the AT already. Okay. No, configuration for Advantage with 2 serial ports. Okay. New configuration with 1 serial port. Okay. So switch block 2 will be on, off, off. So 1 is on, 2 and 3 are off. Hope I didn't change anything else. Oh. And then the IRQ jumpers. And this might be where I might be a little SOL here, because I don't have any. I don't have anything where I can safely grab the jumpers. Those were always a pain if you didn't happen to be missing some tools. So let me see. And then, like I'm making a big assumption that this works anyway. Could get it in and be like, nope, sorry, it doesn't work. Okay, 1 jumper out, another jumper out. Oops. See if I can. We'll say one thing: years of experience, a lot of it being bad experiences, taught me how to be very careful using non-traditional instruments as tools, working with gold pins that can leave you with broken equipment and you in a very bad emotional state. So, alright. On, off, off, and put a jumper over IRQ 4. Right. So I think that's it. Yeah, IRQ 4. Some people leave the jumpers off. I will always try to reinstall them in the open, position. Just leave them kind of floating off of 1 pin, because you never know when you're going to need them later, and then you're scrambling to pull jumpers off of other stuff you might not have used for a while, and then you end up, kind of sacrificing it for whatever project you're working on. So here we are. We've got a configured, we got our jumpers set. We've got our dip switches set. Although I do want to go back and on switch block 2. Yep. Number of parallel ports already in the AT. And according to this, okay. I guess we can only have a maximum of 2. We're going to say there's 0, so switches 4 and 5 on block 2 are serial port 4 is on, tip switch 4 is on, 5 is off. Now I can switch the camera back and try to adjust this a little bit so you can see what I'm doing and I don't end up sliding this computer off of the table. not a great shot. I am indeed looking at other things. In the community, one of the community organizations I'm in, they recently bought a sling box, not a sling box, a sling studio for the group, and it's very neat stuff. But boy, $1,000 for just the base package leaves a lot to be desired. An absolute lot to be desired. Okay. Screw. And take out the second option. Okay. Pressure's going to be in there. Alright, we'll take this out and put it aside. Put this bad boy in here. So you figure what? 640K plus 3 megs? Alright. Okay. Diagnostic disc is in. I'm probably going to squawk loudly. Oh. Helps if I have the extension cord wheel. Hopefully you don't see my backside. Alright. Alright. So we're going to run the setup. We'll update the RAM. We'll reboot. Yes, there is a memory size error. Setup. Alright. It is 4/7. It is 8 o'clock Eastern my time. Nope. This I still need to fix using G setup. Yep. Expansion memory size. This is incorrect. So 3072. Yes. And then we're going to run a cycle of five memory tests on it. And while we are running our memory diagnostics, I'm going to put find a smaller Phillips head screwdriver. we're going to put the other AST together. And you know, I still can't figure out what I did with the boxed copies of Windows 3.0 and Windows 3.1, because one of our previous live streams we wanted to check out the color schemes. Well, we're still in the process of tidying up and getting stuff sorted in the library. And so, okay, is the list correct? Single parallel, single serial, yes, that finally is correct. We're going to run our memory tests. Yeah, it's pretty quick. We're going to actually run it 10 times and wait if there's an error. It doesn't take 4 minutes. But while we are waiting, if you'll excuse me for just a moment. Okay. I'm taking the screws off of the standoffs of the Advantage pack so that I can, mount it on the card and secure it properly. That one didn't work out too well. Hi, kitty cat. The cat doesn't like computers, but the cat certainly likes chasing these little plastic springs around. Okay. So we'll get this flipped around. I'm not disappointed. I knew the Advantage pack. One of the Advantage packs that was coming was one that wasn't fully populated, didn't have all the sockets on it. So, yeah. But I'm still curious if anybody knows if AST did do that when they were at the the end of their rope with this. As assembly revision E. So. Although did I not get this secured properly? Because the standoffs don't quite line up with the holes. Okay. It does now. I guess I didn't have it have the connector seated properly. Okay. Securing the Advantage pack to this card. And we'll go back and double check all of our dip switch settings. We'll put this card in and okay. Because we're already there, so how many parallel ports already in the AT? There's one. So on switch block 2, switch 4 is off, switch 5 is on. That's already set. Great, good. That's, yep. And we'll go back up, and number of serial ports already in the AT. Well, there's one, so that will be switch block 2, switch 1 is off, switch 2 is on, switch 3 is off. Serial 1 functions as COM2. That's exactly what we want. And got to change. This card is actually missing some of its jumpers. This is going to be, it's going to work as IRQ3, and I guess I can't activate any, can't put any more serial ports in here. How unfortunate is that? Get these jumpers out of here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Like wondering why is IRQ3 listed twice in here, and it depends on how you're configuring the card. If you're going to use both COM ports at the same time. All right. So off on off, IRQ3, serial 1 functions as COM2. Yes, off, on, off. All right. Okay. Now we've got to deal with the memory. Switch block 1, parity is on. Okay, so I got to go to section 4.3 where it talks about using other memory cards. Hi, kitty. Are you, oh. Hmm. Not interested in chasing after the spring. Okay, so because we're using more than one of these AST cards, we have to tell it all right, 4.3. 4.1, 4.12, setting the starting memory address of the advantage. Okay, if you have other memory cards, set the advantage starting address to use one of the first 3 entries in the tables in Appendix D. Yep. Yeah. Well, in this case, it's going to be 4 banks, so off. Switch block 1, it's going to be off, on, off. Oops. Alright. So switch 1 is off. Switch 2 is on. Switch 3 is off. Switch 4 is on. Okay. Okay. Okay, set the advantage starting address in Appendix D. So now we got to find Appendix D. I do apologize, this is kind of boring listening to me ramble while we're watching the AT run a memory diagnostic. Sergio! Sean! Hello! I haven't... I'm sorry I did not have the chat box open because I really didn't think anybody was going to join me on such short notice. Yes, kind of. Choose your own adventure tonight. How is everybody doing tonight? Okay. All the possible... Let me get down there. A lot of people say they love digital documentation, and it is nice on the quick, but if it doesn't beat holding it in your hands and flipping through the ports. Okay. Switch block 2. Okay. Advantage start address. 3.75. Yeah. 3.750. 3712. Oh. Okay. Table D2. Switch block. Actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's okay. Like I said at the beginning of the video, wasn't planning on doing it tonight, but had something come up for tomorrow, and I'm not 100% sure I will be able to stream tomorrow. If I am, I will also stream tomorrow, but I wanted to get this done today just in case I'm not able to stream, and that would have had me pushing this out until Sunday. Okay. Okay, great. No errors. So we are starting at 3712, so that's 3.625. But which, I'm a little confused at which table D1 can be used to compute the amount of base and expansion memory in the AT based on the configuration of the advantage. Table D2 lists all the possible starting addresses for the advantage and the corresponding settings for switch block 3 on the board. Okay. Table D1 is a split memory addressing allocation, and table D2, okay. So it's block 3 at 3712, okay. So, of course, I can't select only the row I want, but hopefully I'll remember. Block 3 will be on, off, off, off. Oh, 7, okay. 3, okay. On, off, 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 on, off. Okay. You know what they say, park the heads, turn this off. We'll install this card. Switch the camera over and change it again. I've got to get another tripod that I can actually set on the table with one of the webcams. So, do that. I am a little bit worried because the cards are so wide. I'm hoping they don't touch each other, because I've had that happen before, and as Sean can remember too, not the kind of fireworks you want coming out of vintage gear. Not really. No, not the kind you want. I will say one thing though, and because the smell of the equipment has not changed since we've gotten into vintage. Like when you pull the cover off and smell the electronics in it, it smells the same now in 2022 as it did in 1994. At least seems that way to me. At some point in time, I'll really want to max this out, and Sean and I did have an off-camera discussion after a live stream one night about, like, okay, well, how much is this really expensive? Wow. Oh, like I'm wondering why it won't fit. It helps if I take the slot cover off. So anyway, to get back to what I was saying, is somebody does have one of... Boy, I hope that doesn't short out. Ah! Well, didn't blow it up. Well, Walmart has them. They're not terrible quality for being the bottom of the barrel. It's just been a matter of going, biting the bullet, and buying one. But there's so much stuff that's backed up. I've still got to return a 5 1/4 inch disk drive to David Beam. It's in its box, ready to go. It's just a matter of doing it. So, whoops, let me turn that back off and adjust the monitor again. What are we up to now? So, yeah, essentially just over... It'd be like, what was it before? Bring up the calculator. We had 3 megs, and we're adding 1 point... Yes, that is a good idea. Just trying to think, like, I want to make sure that I've got all the memory turned on this card. 5376. Yeah, that seems about 1.5, 2 megs. Yeah, 4.378. Yeah, that's about right. So we'll boot it again. I guess one of the other things, I'm gonna have to get some better cameras. If I do ever able to afford $1,000 Sling Studio that you can use iPads and iPhones as cameras, I think that probably will be better, because like I can read this, but what the camera is capturing, you can't make it out, and the rest of the text is a little bit fuzzy. But it's saying, memory size error, and we're going to go back into setup. Yes, everything's still right. We were just here. Haha. No. So trying to think. So 372 plus 512 plus 512 plus 512 plus 512, 5120. Okay. And nope, escape will not let you bypass it. Oh, that's not good. FA000 EFF 201 parity check 2. Okay. No. Nope. Well, we already installed OS2. Can't find Windows 3.1 to install, so that will have to be next. 5376. Oh, okay. No, this This makes sense now. There's something off. So we got 640K, and then we've got 3 megabytes in one card, and then we've got 2 megs in another card. Memory error, parity check 2. Okay. Well, trying to think. How am I going to address that? Well, was there anything else in this box? No, I don't. Okay, nothing else in the box. The mail call. Well, I don't know. You mean like pretend like, ooh, maybe they sent still squawking memory size error. Oh, that was installed. Whoops, that was installed last time. Actually, you were watching the install. It went pretty fast. Okay. So what am I gonna do here? Parity is turned on. Yeah. Does smell a little bit crispy. Just a little bit crispy. As one of my uncles, the mechanic, would say, it does smell a little bit crispy. Just a little bit. What can I do here? Can I move this at all? So you can get some enjoyment of what I'm doing over here? Yeah, I probably can. I think I will. Just a tad. Just a tad. Yeah. So this is the suspect board. I'm going to take the Advantage pack off it, just so that I can see what sort of RAM chips were installed underneath. It's 8:30 my time, and figure go till at least 9 o'clock. Today was a particularly long day. Was on the road at 6 a.m. my time. Didn't get back until about 7:30 p.m. my time. And these, okay, look like 256K chips. And both of these cards are missing the whatever it is. They're missing this second thing. So I'm like, oh, this one must be working all right. And so what I'm going to do is, these are 128 kilobit chips. The other two are chips I ordered from Raymond Sergio. So I took her advice. I looked them up and um, went, yeah, the price of old Ram chips reminds me of what the price was way back then. Like it was, yeah, essentially it was $56 for 1 megabyte of RAM. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, 56 bucks for one megabyte of RAM. Yeah. Okay. And because I don't have a chip puller, I'm gonna use a screwdriver. Hope for the best. Ah. If you do happen to hear that trilling sound, that's the calico cat chasing after, batting the spring around the apartment. I will say, if you the diagnostic procedures as time went on went better, but if you went and read like what you had to do to troubleshoot, faulty RAM modules on an original PC, like certain conditions had to be met for the system to tell you where the error was. Otherwise, you were going through testing a chip at a time. Okay. So now that we've got that, I'm going to take these 256 kilobit chips off and try to transplant them if I can, and hope to hell I'm transplanting the good chips. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I mean, yes, I got what you meant, but because one of the, oh, yes, I probably should have just reseated the card to see if the memory error would have gone away, but I don't think so. And yes, Raymond's were tested. I didn't have any trouble with his. Um, Once I got them installed, they were very well packed. The shipping, I mean, it was postal service, flat rate box, and to my surprise, I don't think he uses the same shipping platform you use, because it was almost $10 for a box that I remember just a few years ago was only $6.75. So. Actually, no wonder they invented DIMMs, because this was such a pain in the rear end. Although I think much more reliable. Like how I mean, and I get it. You didn't your MS DOS machine didn't do as much, but how often did you have to restart it while you were working on something? Oh no, my web browser doesn't work anymore. I got to reboot it. Or especially now where I work, it seems like every day you got to tell all of the other people, did you reboot? Did you shut down your computer this last night when you went home? Did you restart when you came into the office today? Well, if you didn't, you need to. Yeah. Okay, so memory transplanted. Yeah. In fact, I've got so many of those free boxes here, I've been thinking of just putting them in the fire pit. Don't tell the post office. Okay, so now, all right, it looks like I've got all the chips in there. They're seated. And I got to go through and change the dip switches again. Okay. This is where having the hard copy would be nice. Okay. In which case, this has switch block 1. It's got 3 banks of 512K. So it's going to be off, on, off, off, on, and parity. The parity switch is on. Okay. Yep, configuring the starting memory address. When configuring switch block 3, note the following. If you are using any other memory cards in your AT, we are. We are Advantage start address megabytes 3172 or 3712. Oh no. Excuse me, gentlemen, I gotta get the AC adapter for this laptop or we're gonna be cut off really, really fast. really, really fast. And don't want that to happen. Not tonight. I think you got a pretty good stream going. Okay. No, we didn't. The Zenith or the NEC PowerMate didn't have to um, do any of that. Okay, we'll boot this back up in a minute. Just want to verify. So actually, let me power on the computer first. See what it counts up to. So essentially, it should be 3 megabytes plus 640K. FFE201 memory error. Memory size error. Okay. Yeah. Yep, thank you, 3712. New. 3712. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so 3712, that's 3.625 megs, and the dip switches are on, off, 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 on. Still getting a memory error, but see, this is the part that's goofy now. Let me see. You're right, but let me do the calculation, Sean. It's counting up to 3712, but I don't. 640K plus 512, 512, 512. Actually, no. 512 times 6. 3072 plus 640 is 3712. No, I believe that. Boy, I hope not. There's been no trouble at all. Yeah. Well, in this case, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the AST stuff out. Entirely. Well, let's. Yeah. So the way that the card's in it, the expanded memory card gives 2 megs of expanded memory, but it provided a little bit extra to backfill what's on the system board because it made the assumption that your AT board only had 256K on it. Backfilled it to 640 and then gave you 2 megabytes of expanded RAM. And, well, strangely enough, whatever RAM error it's suffering from is not enough to kill the operation of the computer. So no. Oh, actually, uh, yeah, I think I discovered my math. Yeah, the math failure. Um, but will base is 640. Expansion is 0. Yep. Let's try it from. Not really. So supposedly this card has, well, the card that I left sitting on top of the AT has 3 megs in it. And how is the weather where both of you are? Sergiu's in Texas and Sean, you're in South Carolina. It is raining cats and dogs outside. Whoops. So, okay. So one of the things that I have to do is I've got to go through and readjust the starting point. Okay. All right, so no memory error, cold start, great. Need to go through, and I'm just double checking. Okay. All right. So contiguous memory addressing in a 512 or 640K AT, that will be page 311. Yep, that's accurate. So page 311. All right. If your AT has 512K or 640K AT, right? Advantage switch block number 3 should be configured on, off, on. Okay. And it is. Beautiful. So then the parity checking is turned on. Switch block 1, it's on. We're not configuring the serial ports right now. Okay, I did discover a problem there. The parallel port on my expanded memory adapter is turned on, and I'll have to pull that card out and turn that off. That would cause a problem. And I want to go through and say we've got 6, this is going to be switch block 1, 6 blocks of, assuming 6 blocks, of 512K, and that's going to be off, on, off. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not going to cut off right at 2 right at 2 o'clock. Right at 9 o'clock, but if either of you, anybody needs to go right ahead. I'm just, now this thing's kind of got me so torqued, I want to get it fixed. And I did leave the instructions for this expanded memory adapter someplace. Is it under the keyboard? Well, it's here. I just need to refresh my memory on what's required to yeah, turn off that printer port. It was here. It's under the keyboard. Okay. Option instructions for the IBM 2 megabyte expanded memory adapter. Okay, we did that already. JP2. Okay. All right. If your installed devices include both Type A and Type B, you must disable by removing the 4-pin jumper. Okay. Yep. And, oh crap. This is one of those things certainly don't want to lose. And I'm just thinking like, all right, how can I keep it on here without losing it? Well, we'll have to put it in. I'll have to put it in like so. Okay. All right. Put this card back in. All right. Well, if it's not the rain, it's also being close to our international airport. But I like to know where they're flying to. Most of the small carriers have discontinued their service. Although there was a rumor that we could get, if you can make it to Philadelphia, you can come to Plattsburgh. That they were going to do direct flights to Philly. Okay. All right. So I just want to double check. I figure we're going to put this in. Double check the serial. The serial connections on here. Yes. The AT will go all the way up to. I've had 15 megs in it before. Oh, 90 degrees and windy. Well. Yes. So I have 2 of these. They're out. Technically, I have 3 of these. They're outside of the machine. I suppose I could put all 3 of them in, but I'm not going to. The AT will actually support almost a full 16 megabytes of memory. Expanded memory doesn't count in the memory count. Like, that was only used for programs that were specifically written to take advantage of it. Because it actually does memory swapping in the area between 640 to 1 meg. Okay, so we're done with the memory settings. And now I should go through and, well, listening to the rain. Okay. Number of parallel ports in the AT. There are 0. Switch block 2, 4, and 5. Oops. On. Off. Function of advantage parallel port. That was one of my problems. IRQ7. Okay. And then, where's the serial? Go back to the serial. Serial ports, where are you? Number of serial ports already in AT, 0. So that will be on, off, on, off, on. Whoops, my bad. On, off, off. Number, okay. Configuration for advantage with 1 serial port. Alright, so it's going to be on, off, off. And it's also going to use IRQ4. And I'm gonna just swap this crap around here. I think we got it. Good. We'll put this in, see if it explodes. I'll be like, forget plug and play. This is the real plug and pray right here. Plug and pray. All right. Right, kitty cat? Okay. Just gotta take care of a little something here. Yeah, the cats, everybody's lost their mind today. Okay, let's restart. This should be, the computer should be throwing a fit right now. Yeah, and the computer should be throwing a fit. Because I've got that memory card in there. It's got 1.5 megabytes of RAM on it. Okay. Well, let me, Okay, apparently, well, I messed up again with the dip switch settings on this card. Story of my life, it seems. Okay. Okay. Go back to memory. Okay, that's why. I've got the card set up like it's got all 6 banks populated when the card only has 3 banks on it. So switch 1 I need to reset to off, on, off, on. Okay. No, I do have it set correctly. All right. I don't know. What's up with that then? I want to put it back in one more time. See what happens. Worst case scenario is just get fed up and send all the cards to Raymond and said, hey, you want to buy some RAM? I'll sell it to you cheap. Okay. Well, that's not working. Certainly do not want to be going backwards here. So, okay, we're going to go through. We're going to use the big card. So it's got 6. Off, on, off, on, off, off, on. Oh. Well, maybe that's what off, on. All right. You know, some people ask me, like, oh, why do you keep parking your hard drive heads? It says, do you have any idea how valuable these MFM hard drives are? Over on, David Bleem has a group on Facebook called, Model 25 and Model 30 enthusiasts. And the number of people over there who have systems with hard drives in them that are dead is phenomenal. And I'm like, wow. Off, on, off, on. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I must have did something goofy there. Okay, so 6 is off, on, off. Parity is on. And we're going to go back and we're going to match the rest of the dip switch settings, hopefully. On, off, on, off, and then on, off, 5, off. Okay. Ooh. Plug this in, see if it explodes. Gotta double check the IRQ settings here. Gotta double check the IRQs. Everybody needs some IRQs. 7, and 4. Okay. Yes, Kitty likes computers. Feel like Louis Rossman with his cats. But I don't have greenies. I don't have greenies for you cats. No greenies. Nope, no greenies for you guys. Okay, 7 and 4. That's 4 already. Okay. All the dip switches are set. All the jumpers are set. Keep grounding myself on the case. Plug this card in. See if it actually counts up to what's on this card. Well, that only spins up to 640. Get my calculator. Yeah, space is 640. Expansion memory. Okay. So 512 times 6, 3072. I think, yeah, Sean, like you might have been right with this. This is what I should have been stuffing in here. FFFE201 memory error. Okay. Okay. Well, let's put the other card back in. Ah. Put the other memory card back in. Hopefully I didn't kill any of this. Alright. Still says 201. Well, gonna have to... No, So I have an EMS board that does backfill the motherboard to 640. So then you have to tell the AST card you're not backfilling to 640, another card is. So I'm pretty sure I've done that. I hope I've done that. I know, anything's possible, you know. So this is going to be 1536. Okay. So the only thing I can suspect is when you take all 16 megabytes that a 286 can handle, you can't have gaps in the memory map. So that's like I think maybe I've got going on is I've got a memory gap in there. Um, yeah. Okay, actually gonna have to flag that and deal with that tomorrow. Go back. Let me. Okay. All right. So I figure I'm gonna want to start with the card that's got the most memory in it first. That will be the board with 3 megabytes on it. Assuming I haven't killed it or anything. Gonna go back and, alright. So the instructions tell me, step 2. The next thing you need to tell the Advantage is where its memory will be located in the AT's memory addressing range. This is done by configuring the settings of switch block 3 on the Advantage. When configuring switch block 3, note the following. If you are using no other memory cards in your AT, follow the instructions in this section. If you are using the IBM 128K memory card in your AT, follow the instructions in this section. Yes, that other EMS card that I have is essentially using the IBM 128K memory card. Okay. Go down here. We don't have a 512K AT. Alright, contiguous memory addressing in a 512K or 640K AT. If your AT has 512K on its system board, you may address all of the Advantage memory as expansion memory in the 15 megabyte extended memory area. You should also use this configuration if you have the 128K card in your AT, which we do, and that would make sense because I didn't have it set right. So switch block 3 needs to be on, off, on, and all right. Okay. That actually kind of makes sense now because I didn't have the didn't have that set up right. Okay, card seated. Let's boot it up. There we go. $37.12. Okay. Okay, it's still squawking about memory size, but we got rid of the memory error. That makes a hell of a lot more sense now. Hell of a lot more sense. Okay. Okay. Looking for... Okay. D1 can be used to compute the amount of base and expansion memory. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3072. Base memory 294. Well, that's not accurate, but whatever. No. Okay. All right. Advantage start address in megabytes. So it's 3172, and this is where it should be. On, off, oh, jeez. Oh, nope. On, off, off. 6, 7. Okay, on, off, on. Okay, 6 is on, 7 is off, 8 is on. Okay, and go back up to the top of this document. Come back down here, and we're going to say, yeah, it's got 3 in it. 3, yep, okay. It's got 3, bank 1, okay. Off, on, off, on, all right. And we're going to go and look at serial card. I'm not going to look, I don't care about any of that crap. Okay. So block 2, there's 1 in it already. And off. Oops. Dropping stuff all over the place. On, or sorry, off, on, off, on, off. Okay. Serial 1 functions as COM3. Okay. That's on there. And then parallel port. Number of parallel ports already in the AT, it's 1, so switch 4 is off, 5 is on, and IRQ5. Alright. Okay. Actually, did I notice that correctly? Yeah. So of course I don't have the monitor up. Something I noticed was, if you see all these silver pads there, the Advantage that's in the computer right now actually has pins there, as if there's something else that could be added to this card, and I think there is. I just don't remember off the top of my head what that is right now. But I just noticed that 2 of the 3 cards like this I have, only the one that's in there has those set of pins. Okay. Hope this doesn't explode. Okay. So 4864, not squawking about any sort of memory fault other than we don't have the right amount of extended memory in um, setup, which is fine. Absolutely fine. Going to park the hard drive heads, add this onto that card, and then you know what? Just for shits and giggles, of course I can't. Yeah, I might be able to do it with. Yeah, I might be able to do it. I have to take the network card out of here, but what the hell, you know? Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. I've never actually seen any of the Borat movies, but I am a fan of Sacha Cohen. I am, believe it or not. I am. I am. Actually, Actually, now what I think what I might do is I'm going to take, yeah, I am going to take the Intel network card out of here, Sergio, and whenever I can get a cluster adapter, I'll, because the Intel NIC is a 16-bit card. Supposedly, you can operate it in 8-bit mode. Never had a whole lot of success with that, and of course, the majority it probably was because trying to get the network stack to load in 640K RAM. I was like, forget it. Forget it. I was like, absolutely, forget it. Yeah, forget it. Like, that never really worked out. We'll say one thing, won't have a whole lot of trouble falling asleep tonight. Nope, will not. Although, not to make any big political statements, but notice this card. Made in Hong Kong. uh, yeah, I'm screwing the plastic standoffs into the Advantage, this 512K Advantage pack. Then all I have to do is I haven't messaged David yet about what I need for the cluster adapter, but if it really is kind of like Token Ring in the sense where you've just got a single piece of coax, with those connectors kind of bit into it, Who knows? Maybe that's where IBM got the leapfrogged the idea of token ring from, was their work that they did with the cluster adapter. Just kind of giggle. I'm looking at the title of the AST manual. PCAT Multifunction Expansion Board offering up to 3 megabytes of memory and powerful I/O capability. Yeah, at the time. And it really does feel like, times were much, much simpler back then. The computer could help you do things, but you really still had to, you had to know how to tell the computer to help you do it. Now it seems like, here, spoon feed me. Yep. An entertainment recommendation that I have for my viewers is Ronnie Chung, Asian. Take care. Asian American Asian comedian destroys America. The skit that he does in there about Amazon Prime, and how we're essentially all addicted to Amazon Prime. Okay. Did you imagine trying to run, like, that's the interesting thing, like when you think about like high resolution photos, like a 4K picture might be 30 megs by itself, and I'm like, that's the whole hard drive in this thing. The whole hard drive. Alright, the only other thing I need to do now is just go back, look at the jumper settings again, and change the number of four. So it's off, on, off, on, off. Okay. Well, whatever this ends up being, it's what it ends up being. We're going to conclude the broadcast or the stream after. Oh no, that ain't going to work. Or is it? Please don't blow up. That still seems off, but I'll take it. I'll take it. We'll load it in there, and so essentially 5376 minus 640. $47.36. Well, been having such a great time and forgetting to drink the coffee. Okay. Yep. 2 parallel, 2 serial. Got some RAM. Well, already almost an hour further along than wanted to stream this evening, but I think we've got the memory upgraded in the AT as much as we're going to get it upgraded, at least before we go to the authentic IBM 12 megabyte card. And as usually say, at the end of every video and every live stream, always search, protect your vintage gear. Make sure to prevent your CRTs from burn-in, and if you still got the old spinning rust, make sure to park your heads. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the next video or the next